Welcome. This is the Government News Brief for Thursday, February 18, 2016. In the news, Environmental Protection Agency to be boosted to provide enforcement, long-term master plan being crafted to guide housing sector's development, and first phase of Jubilee Park nears completion. With these and other stories, I am Azim Khan. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Government News Brief. With the approval of the budgetary allocations for the Ministry of Legal Affairs, the way has been cleared for a number of initiatives to be implemented to improve the justice sector. Here are the details.
An improved justice sector means that those appearing before the courts will benefit from faster trials. Additional sums will be spent on the new justice sector program.
The new justice sector program, which is designed to consolidate improvements in the justice sector, is a collaboration between the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, and the Government of Ghana. The following funding is allocated in relation to the respective components: setting up a law revision office and undertaking a revision of our laws to update them to 2015. The sum of US $182,260 has been allocated for that. Setting up a permanent law reform commission with a secretariat for the purpose of continuously examining our laws and make recommendations on areas of reform. US $504,150 has been earmarked for this. Training for judges, magistrates, and prosecutors, including writing up decisions, sentencing, etc., US $42,150. Disposal of backlog cases by measures including the appointment of part-time judges to deal with the civil backlog within a specified time frame, US $49,020.
To speed up the time a trial takes, $327,000 will be utilized to introduce voice recognition systems for recording evidence in the criminal sessions in the High Courts of Demerara, Berbice, and Essequibo. This equipment will also be utilized by magistrates' courts hearing serious offenses. Additionally, approximately $58,000 will be spent to introduce cybercrime legislation and to train investigators, prosecutors, magistrates, and judges to understand the nature of these types of crimes.
The views and inputs of stakeholders are being taken on board in the development of a long-term master plan to guide Guyana's housing sector. Here is that story.
Key stakeholders in the sector were brought together to share their views on the development of a national housing profile. This outline will chart and direct a course of change in the local housing sector. Participants at a consultative workshop held today on the housing profile, including representatives of various ministries, urban authorities, land infrastructure administration, non-governmental organizations, and financial institutions.
Specifically, from a policy perspective, I take this opportunity to note that my government made certain clear statements on the issue of housing policy and national development in its 2015 election manifesto. In all that we seek to do or to change as politicians, as policymakers, planners, and program implementers, we will require a sound understanding of the sector. If our policies, programs, plans, and decisions are to be successful and sustainable, we must operate with the benefit of reasonably good evidence as provided through appropriate data and analysis.
The National Housing Profile is expected to improve the capacity of the government to provide responses in the housing sector. The profile will do so by identifying the challenges and pointing out priority areas for interventions.
A housing sector profile can therefore offer a comprehensive review of the current housing delivery system and make recommendations for a more effective housing program, since the key objectives of the central authority are to ensure inclusive, rights-based, gender-based, well-serviced, demand-driven, affordable housing, and a sustainable housing delivery mechanisms for persons of primarily low and moderate incomes.
It is envisaged that the National Housing Profile will provide insight on housing sector issues such as special government financing, options available for financing of low and moderate income housing, and housing's role in poverty reduction. The profile development is a collaborative effort among the Guyana government and the United Nations Habitat, Housing and Slum Upgrading Branch and the United Nations Development Programme. Shanta Goberdan with this government news brief.
In light of an emerging gas and oil industry in Guyana, the Environmental Protection Agency's efficiency will be boosted to provide enforcement. We have more in this story.
The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, will soon have a new building so that the agency can maximize its efficiency. Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, Raphael Trotman, indicated to the National Assembly that $47 million has been allocated to this agency to carry out its mandate in 2016.
In fact, building 3 years ago had been identified for the EPA new building. As its role transforms and as it rises to the challenge of providing enforcement.
Minister Trotman acknowledged that a new structure is needed as currently the EPA does not meet the standards required to oversee the environment. The EPA will benefit from several pieces of equipment catered under the allocation to boost its functions. 3
GPS systems, noise meters and calibrators, portable radiation monitoring equipment, 5 cameras, air quality monitors, 7 office chairs, water dispensers, analyzers and metallizers, 2 air conditioning units, and 1 photocopy machine.
The EPA was established on June 5, 1966, and provides for the management, protection, conservation, and improvement of the environment. EPA also takes the necessary measures in preventing pollution and educating Guyanese for caring of the environment. With this government news brief, I'm Shanaza Low reporting.
Residents of King Edward Street, Alboystown, now have improved access to their homes. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure is currently upgrading roads in that area. Here are the details.
Roadworks continue to be done countrywide to bring easier access to communities, making for more efficient linkages. Only recently, work started on King Edward Street, Alboystown, Georgetown. Staff of the Government Information Agency visited the area and met with a few of the residents. They expressed their gratitude towards the government for bettering their road.
Yeah, it's something good idea because when we get a flood, the road is covered with water and the vehicle water is getting inside.
Well, we feel good. At least it's 20-something years now we don't do so. We glad we do. And we need speed bump because it do now when it's getting smooth. So them cars is flying through.
In addition, cleaning of the drains and weeding of the lawns are also ongoing. Roadworks are expected to continue in the Alboystown area, which will enhance the livelihood of the residents of the community. For this government news brief, Shivani Rampasad reporting.
As the first phase of the Jubilee Park nears completion, some of the workers shared their views on their participation in the historic project. Here is Paul McAdam with the details.
Hundreds of workers are busy working around the clock to ensure that Jubilee Park, formerly known as Jubilee Park, first phase is completed in time for flag raising on February 23rd. For many, the effort is more than just about completing a job.
I admire the change that the government made to this Jubilee Park, and I think it's good for development because despite the standards being constructed here, when they're finished, they're dismantling and donated to playgrounds all over the country.
It's something very good they are doing, and I am happy about it.
I feel very proud for no set I'm working on this right now for truth. At the moment, so that greater things could happen down in the future, but I appreciate the start for now though, for real.
I feel real great about the project we're going on, and I feel so happy that the new government doing something real good for the Guyanese people. Yeah, and I love that. I appreciate that what you're doing there. So the younger one them could come up and see the future of Guyana.
Yeah, well, I feel proud because it's a nice work going on and, you know, developing the country.
Oh, yeah, it's a great achievement to see from what it was. I mean, in the past, when I was young, he used to come up on the race course and you play games, you watch horse race, and then it turned to a bushy park, like it's abundant. Now to see this big transformation is something good, something real good. We're going somewhere.
The February 23rd flag raising ceremony begins at 5 p.m. It entails a 1-hour military program, but from 4 p.m. the National Steel Orchestra will be playing patriotic songs. A flagpole, which is now the tallest in Guyana, was erected this afternoon for the ceremony. It rises 108 feet above the ground.
We're pleased to inform you that tomorrow, Friday, February 19, 2016, the Government Information Agency, GINA, along with several other agencies, will participate in a pictorial independence exhibition. This is hosted by the Culture Department of the Ministry of Education. The exhibition will be held on the Avenue of Main Street, Georgetown. All are invited. With that, we've come to the end of the Government News Brief for Thursday, February 18, 2016. This is a photograph taken during the independence activities. If you recognize yourself in this photograph, please give us a call on 226-6715 or 225-3119. We would certainly like to speak with you. Remember, the Government News Brief along with all other GINA programs can be found on our website. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. On behalf of all of us here at GINA, thank you for watching.